A lot of us love the ocean and want to protect its beauty, but ironically, your swimwear might be doing the opposite of that. In this episode, I chat to Charys from Styelle Swim, a revolutionary swimwear brand taking sustainability to the next level. Enjoy the pod. Tell us a bit about your journey and how you got into sustainable swimwear.
Wow, my journey is quite a vast one at that. So I originally, when I went to college, I attended FBI Fashion College, and I was doing my masterclass, and I spoke to my teacher about I was having trouble finding something that really made me interested in what I was designing. I've always been obsessed with the beach.
Yep.
And she introduced the idea of sustainability to me, which I had honestly never really heard much about. And she was saying how like cotton is very wasteful because 10,000 litres per kilo of cotton, and she's going on with all these statistics, and I'm a huge statistic fan.
Yeah.
So she's going on with all these statistics for me. I was like, oh wow, that's actually really interesting. So I started to look into it and became a part of the Ethical Fashion Forum and learned all about sustainability and ethical sourcing and things through there. And I actually produced an organic fair trade silk couture collection, believe it or not, for my masterclass.
Wow.
And it was absolutely stunningly fitted. I was complimented by the founders of Ginger and Smart, who actually assessed my work.
Awesome.
So the grounds of my fit and my learning of sustainability came deep within college.
Yeah.
And it has followed me ever since. And I feel now it's a part of my lifestyle now.
Yeah.
It's not even just a one component. It's literally everything I do, I have with a sustainable mind. Oh. It's really important that we try to make changes everywhere, not just in what we wear. Like what we wear is very important, but it's not just in what we wear. It's not taking that plastic straw or having your own coffee cup, or if you don't have your own coffee cup, just don't take the lid. Little things. It's the little things that make the difference. And I actually teach it to my children as well,
awesome.
to make sure that I embed sustainability young. I wish I had someone to teach me about sustainability when I was young. But moving into the swimwear, it's actually a friend of mine that introduced the idea of me having swimwear when I was discussing launching a fashion label. It's actually one of my husband's friends. His partner at the time lived in Thailand, and she was saying that she could get reversible two-piece sets made for $25.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds really interesting. That'd be a great business model, get it in really cheap and get it out. And then a visit to the factory was mind-blowing. Children asleep on the floor, literally children 8, 9 years old, sleeping on piles of fabric, waiting for their shift, was the huge turning point.
Wow.
And I said, no, this is not what I'm doing. There has to be better for the world. So, which is what pushed my ethical and sustainable stance. We never claimed sustainability in the swimwear, even though we had sustainability. Like we give away our offcuts to children for art and crafts. So we have sustainable practices deep within the core, but we never claimed sustainability because we were still using Lycra at the time.
Okay.
There wasn't much available in the way of sustainable fabrics back then. So we didn't actually claim sustainability. To me, it didn't feel right to claim to be sustainable if I wasn't 100% sustainable.
Yeah.
And it's been something that's been very firmly embedded in me from those college days. We started to seek out different fabrics, and that's when the upcycled Lycra came available.
Yeah.
But that's still, to me, is a piece of plastic. It doesn't really, like, yes, it's great that they pull the fishing nets from the ocean and so on, etc., but it's still a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
And so we were hunting out, and my production house actually came to me and said, the fabric house that we use has just developed fabric that's 30% biodegradable, and then the rest is degradable. I was, oh wow, is that are you serious?
Yeah,
so how is it 30% biodegradable? And they said, well, it's got 30% plant filament. And it's similar to Tencel, which appears to have a plastic feel.
Yeah.
It's actually biodegradable. It's so soft and amazing. The fit, the form, the feel, it's just unbelievable. You cannot get a fit like it. It is not even a second skin. It is an extension of your skin. It's so amazing. And so it was a no-brainer to have this 30% biodegradable fabric, which is then when we announced our sustainability.
That's fantastic. And I think you kind of touched on my next question.
And if you can maybe dive a bit deeper into the fabric itself, how is Styelle fabric different from the fabrics used by other swimwear companies that maybe aren't as sustainable? Can you sort of hone in a bit deeper on exactly what it's called, a bit more about why it's sustainable and why you love it?
Okay, well, the fabric company where I get it from is actually called Santa Constancia.
Yep.
So we pride ourselves on our transparency as well.
Okay.
We quite happily say if another swimwear company goes against the fabric, we're not even worried, because that to me is also another move in the right direction, that another swimwear company has taken it on board. Yeah, it also takes away our point of difference, but it doesn't bother me because the sustainable side of it is actually more important than anything else. So I think people need to really let go of that.
Okay.
So the fabric that we use, it's Oecotex 100 Class 1 certified. Okay. So which means
Can
that...
Can you say that again, please? Because I think it might be a
Sorry,
mouthful for some people.
It's Oecotex 100 Class 1 certified, which means that it's been verified by a governing body outside of the fabrication area. Awesome. So not many people actually have that certification. It's very important because it shows our customers that we're not full of it, basically.
Yeah.
To know that our fabrics, they don't harm the earth, the waters used to create them are recycled, our dyes are also caught and not put into the oceans, and everything is safely discarded. And even our offcuts, the plastic offcuts are actually taken and recycled. Yeah. So it's really important that these sorts of certifications exist. Verification, it's really important. So the 30% plant filament ensures that when you can put it in your compost bin, and you'll pull out 70% of it 3 years later.
Okay.
Yeah, and that 70% is actually degradable. So that'll break down into it's got a bit of a bad name, microplastics, but they are much better because they break down more so than normal plastics.
Okay.
So yes, microplastics are a problem. Plastic is a problem in itself.
Yeah.
But to be able to break down faster than the current plastic in the world is amazing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Maybe moving a bit more towards other swimwear companies. What are some of the other fabrics that they're using, and why aren't they sustainable? Because I dare say some people listening have shopped some brands that may not have the most sustainable fibres. So you know, maybe just help educate them a bit more about what they should be looking out for in the future, and maybe assessing the swimwear they've got in their own wardrobe at the moment, how they can know if that's not as sustainable as what they'd like it to be.
So there's quite a few of them up now. There's quite a few of them now. There's like the Vita Extra Life Lycra. Yep. There's Reprieve. Yep. And these are all upcycled from things like fishnets.
Yeah.
And yes, that is great that they're pulling fishnets from the ocean and using the plastic for something of beauty. But to me, it's more like a Band-Aid approach, because as soon as you mix that with the spandex, as soon as you mix the plastic with the spandex, it doesn't allow it to be discarded efficiently. So spandex is the problem. See, our 30% biodegradable fiber is the spandex. So spandex is like an elastic. An elastic will never break down.
Yeah.
So it's really quite sad that it's put a positive spin on negative. And yes, they're all verified and whatnot, but I think it's just a Band-Aid solution. It's not an end life. See, with a blazer or a skirt or whatnot, you can always hand that down and pass it on. It can go through 4 people before it gets made into a new garment. With swimwear, it has to have an end solution because it's like underwear. You can't share it.
Yeah.
It's not like you can go and give it to your sister.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Or your best friend. Because that's just disgusting. But, so there's no real end life for swimwear.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that we create an end life to garments as well as recycled garments. I'm very much a thrifter. I quite like thrifting fashion.
Yep.
But swimwear and lingerie and just general underwear needs to have an end life.
Yeah. That's a really unique approach. A lot of people would maybe argue otherwise, but it's always interesting to hear your unique style from it. And maybe now if we want to hone a bit back closer to Styelle now, knowing you, I know you're quite passionate about making the world a better place, and you've already spoken about how your sustainability approach is very holistic. It's not just with swimwear, it's also with your kids and with your family, with your lifestyle. What are some other initiatives that Styelle is using to better the world?
Oh, well, see, in Brazil, we are currently putting every bikini we sell puts a child in school for 3 months in Brazil.
Awesome.
So our ethical sourcing goes toward the extra money goes towards community growth and things like that. They're very involved in community over there. It's being a mum of 5, it's very important to me that children are safe. It's just something that is very close to my heart. I look at my children and I think about other people's children, and it actually brings tears knowing that there's so many children in this world that suffer.
Yeah.
So it's been something I'm very adamant on, is making sure that we have that side of our business. As I said before, the offcuts are taken, the larger size offcuts are taken and donated to schools for arts and crafts.
Yep.
So there's actually no waste in our designs. So they're then given another life for children that are poor.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's nice to know that those kids really get something out of what would otherwise be in landfill.
Yeah, that is awesome. And is there anything else that you want to say? I think I might have cut you off there.
Oh no, that's okay. We do a lot in Australia as well. Like we were platinum sponsors for Miss Grand. This is pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah.
Platinum sponsors for Miss Grand, and we focus a lot on charity with them and getting children out of sex slavery through Destiny Rescue. So Miss Grand has been a wonderful platform, and we've supported them since their inception in 2016.
Okay.
So it's been wonderful. We've done a lot of little things. To make the world a better place, I suppose.
I think those little things are making a big impact. So in a macro sense now, how do you see the industry changing in regards to fabrics and sustainability?
Oh, geez, it's ever morphing. Fashion weeks are dedicating no fur, which is huge.
Yeah.
There's nothing sustainable about butchering animals for the sake of what we wear.
Yeah.
We're not cavemen. We don't need to butcher animals to keep ourselves warm anymore. There's been a lot of Bianca Spender I'm a huge fan of her. She most of her patterns are zero waste, so they all fit together, and she has no offcuts in most of her designs. And Kit X as well has a similar thing. So Kit X actually drapes all her things. I looked up to Kit X. Actually did an assignment on Kit X when she was back with Willow in the apparel group. She was trained by a master draper in Italy.
Okay.
And so her patterns have very minimal, if any, offcuts at all as well. It's something that we are aiming towards in Styelle, actually. Yeah. To not have offcuts.
Okay.
It's very hard to create a pattern without an offcut. But it is doable. So it forces us as the designer to be more creative.
Okay.
And so you'll get some very interesting and different, unique styles, and I think that's a good thing in itself. It shows people that there is another way.
Yeah.
There is always another way.
Yeah.
So the sustainability on that front is amazing. And then you've got things like the Remnant Warehouse, which take the beautiful silks of Zimmerman and resell it to small brands, and then they turn it into something else amazing.
Yeah. Sorry. That is amazing. And with those offcuts, are you close to being zero offcuts? Is that a while away?
We are getting close. So it's getting there.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're really aiming towards.
Yeah.
It's not an easy process, and we're also looking to bring our some of our production home to Australia. Okay. To provide Australian people with Australian made and owned products, as well as the Brazil made. Okay. So the main reason we produce in Brazil is they're actually the world leading artisans in the way of swimwear, and second in the world is Aussies. Spoiled for choice. Yeah, we are spoiled for choice. Yeah, that's fantastic. And look, just to work towards wrapping up, I've got a last question for you, which is a bit more of a breaking the fourth wall now. If you could say one thing to swimwear lovers that don't understand why choosing sustainable swimwear is important, what would you love to say to them? Ooh, one thing. Oh, that's hard. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll give you 2 if you need. 1 to 2. So, okay. Oh. Well, it's good for your skin is probably the biggest one, because that's what's most important to most women. It's good for your skin to have a sustainable, especially a Styelle garment, because of the natural fibers. It's good for your skin, and it's good for your soul. You know that you've done the right thing. Yeah. And having that confidence, knowing you've done the right thing, I think is the most attractive thing on a woman. Yeah.
No, spot on. I don't know, just to touch on that second point, I don't know if you felt this too. I'm just going to go on a bit of a rant now, but not a rant, a positive rant, I should say. When you wear something that you know is, let's say, fair trade certified or made from certified organic cotton, you just know it's ethically and sustainable made. When you put it on, you almost like this happy smile of like, I'm doing something good. Like it just, I don't know. Maybe you walk 2 foot taller, you feel like so much better. Like,
100%.
Yeah.
You develop this confidence, this fullness. It's like you've just had a really big salad and you feel amazing.
Yeah,
you know that feeling after you have a salad,
yeah.
you're just like, oh God, I feel good because I ate healthy.
Yeah.
It's that same feeling, but in what you're wearing.
Yeah, I think it's a great analogy with the food, because like, sometimes itchy fast fashion might be fast food in that you know it's not great for you.
It's junk. Yeah. It's just junk.
Yeah. Whereas like we say now, if you're eating a nice salad or putting on an item is made from sustainable materials, e.g. Styelle Swimwear, you feel good about yourself, and I guess something you can't really quantify. But I guess just to touch on your last one, I think that could be something. Another cool point that you can mention about swimwear levels in that, I think, what was the exact wording you said, that you feel good about yourself, or is that, or you
feel full, like a fullness.
Yeah, feel a fullness.
Yes, you feel full. It's not an easily explained feeling.
Yeah.
It's just, you just, like you said, 2 foot taller, like 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Yeah. That's fantastic. But that's what you should put that in your next swimwear campaign. Bulletproof. I think you are.
Oh, it was actually a saying that my dad used to use. He was an old Navy man, and he used to say that he and his mates used to always walk around like they were 10 foot tall and bulletproof. So I've taken a snippet out of his books.
That's fantastic. I think that's a perfect way to end the podcast there with that great quote from your father. And like I said, big thank you for your time today, Charys, and wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you so much, Jordan. I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Pleasure. See you later. Thank you so much for listening. It really does mean the world. If you like what you heard, please leave a nice review. And if you have any feedback or want to recommend a guest, and yes, that can include you love yourself, please email me at jordan@stridestore.com.au.